Cuomo once, I told him 1,000 times. Sniff, don't touch. What? Why are you pointing at me? I didn't do it. I'm on. I'm on what? Oh, I'm on, right. Good afternoon, morning, evening. I don't know. Trump sucks. Vote for me, Joe. Your next president.
President Biden, you're already president.
I am. I knew that. Welcome to my news conference. And welcome to our esteemed press corps. They're all here. Wow, what a turnout. Wow, look how giant that text is. Okay, here we go. My fellow Americans, I know many of you have questions regarding our most concerning issues like, is COVID a thing? Is the job market...
Billionaires in America. And what's happening? They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500 billion, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat.
The personal advisor to Donald Trump, my new friend, Larry. How you doing? How you doing? I'm fine. Everything's fine. It's all going great. It's all really good. Your name's Larry. Yep, Larry. Just freaking Larry. Just Larry. But sometimes he calls me Bob. There's not Bob. There's not freaking Bob. It's just Larry. And you're referring to President Trump. Oh my God, is he here? Where? No, he's not here. Oh, okay. That would have been shocking. If he were here? Yeah, why? Because he didn't tweet about it first! He never stops! I can't leave him for a second. I turn my back and he's tweeted again. He does it from the Oval Office, from the front lawn, from the back lawn, from the side lawn, the lawn, the kitchen, and the toilet! Do you know how many times I've begged him to stop the toilet tweeting? Oh, look, everybody agreed on something! Kumbaya, my lord! So you don't really help him. Actually, one time I tried to help him by stealing his phone. What happened? His hair attacked me. His hair is alive. Do you have any influence on what the president tweets? Are you kidding? I'd have better luck convincing Walter to stop passing gas. Did that come out of your ass? No. You need to work on that. Sound like your ass is talking. So, Larry, how long have you worked for the president? About 4 hours. He hired you 4 hours ago. Well, he fired me before breakfast, then rehired me after lunch. Oh, you heard of Taco Tuesdays? Yeah, Trump has firing Fridays. And what does Melania say when people get fired? Take me with you. Do you think it's true there might be a problem in Trump's marriage? Oh, no. He just went through a stormy patch. Screw you.
That your policies are going to drive up debt, they're going to drive up inflation, so they're going to drive up interest rates. Are the investors wrong?
Yeah, I had 4 years no inflation. But that was when you had much. I had 4 years. It's better than that. And Biden, who has no idea where the hell he is, okay? Biden went 2 years with no inflation because he inherited from me. And then they started spending money like drunken sailors. They spent so much money. It was so ridiculous, the money they were spending. They were spending on the Green New Scam. The Green New Deal, you know, it was conceived of by AOC +3. She never even studied the environment in college. She went to a nice college. She came out, she just said, the Green New Scam. She just named all these things.
But President Trump, the issue the markets are looking at the fact you are making all these promises. Latest one was car loans. You're flooding the thing with giving giveaways.
But we're going to grow.
I was actually quite kind to you. I used 7 trillion. The upper estimate is 15 trillion. People like the Wall Street Journal, who's hardly a communist organization,
yeah, but you don't know.
They have criticized you on this as well. You are running up enormous debts.
What does the Wall Street Journal know? I'm meeting with them tomorrow. What does the Wall Street Journal know? They've been wrong about everything. So have you, by the way. You've been wrong about
You're trying to turn this. You've
been wrong about it.
You're trying to turn this into debate. There are business people.
But you're wrong. You've been wrong. You've been wrong all your life on this stuff. You've been wrong.
No,
let me tell you about currency. You're going.
2,000 years later.
You knew the federal government was seeking them and then had given you a subpoena to return them.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Can I talk?
Yeah, what's
you
the
mind?
answer?
Do you mind?
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple to. You're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
Can you answer why you held on to the document?
Sure. Okay, question? Yeah, go ahead. Sure. She's shocked that I picked her.
No.
She's like in a state of shock.
I'm not thinking, Mr.
That's
President.
okay. I know you're not thinking. You never do.
I'm sorry?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
In a tweet this weekend, Mr. President, you said that it's incorrect to say you're limiting the scope of the FBI investigation.
What does that have to do with trade? I don't mind answering the question, but, you know, I'd like to do the trade
It has
questions.
to do with the other headline in the news, which is the Kavanaugh
I know,
nomination.
but how about talking about trade, and then we'll get to that. We'll do that a little bit later.
Do you think the trade,
Anybody have a trade?
Do you
Go
think
ahead,
your trade
please.
deal will pass through Congress, sir?
Can I just say something here for a second? Now, I will be the first to admit that Vicky can occasionally be unintentionally entertaining. But let's face facts, she's terrible at her job.
And so I'm wondering how we're going to learn those lessons. During part 1 of Lessons of the Mueller report, we brought in John Dean to re-examine the Nixon impeachment. Perhaps during part 2, we'll get to the impeachment of Andrew Johnson.
People are really fucking stupid. Did you ever notice that? How many really stupid people you run into during the day? God damn, there's a lot of stupid bastards walking around. Carry a little pad and pencil with you. You wind up with 30 or 40 names by the end of the day. Look at it this way. Think of how stupid the average person is, and then realize half of them are stupider than that. And it doesn't take you very long to spot one of them, does it? Take you about 8 seconds. You'll be listening to some guy. You say, this guy is fucking stupid.
When I wrote that report, I thought that it was an issue that needed attention. It was not at the beginning of the Obama administration something that I think did get sufficient attention. There clearly is a changed circumstance. We are in 2019 now. There is clearly a humanitarian problem on the southern border that needs to be addressed. What you will not find in that article is any mention of a wall as a response to that challenge, nor any encouragement of the use of emergency authorities to solve it.
I understand that, but you recognize the crisis, you recognize that it's worse, and I acknowledge that the wall may be something that divides us, but reforming our asylum laws, ensuring that We've got the supplemental appropriation in place to make sure people aren't dying on our border, and reducing the terror you write about is a lot more important than hearing from people that know nothing about the Mueller report.
Time of the
lessons on the Mueller report.
Time of the gentleman has expired.
Mr. Chairman, you guys take way more than your allocated time, and then you take my time and impose on it, and then restrict it. This is a total farce, and it's no wonder witnesses don't want to come here and testify this committee. I yield back.
I'd be happy to come back and talk about Homeland Security at another time.
And we may invite you.
And you know, we have to stay woke. Like everybody needs to be woke.
Nope. CIA? Are there training folks in Ukraine?
Not going to talk about that in an unclassified setting.
Is the Azov battalion getting access to U.S. weapons?
Not that I'm aware of.
There's consent to enter into the record the Global Times investigative report that talks about training. It's from the Atlantic Council's Digital Forensics Research Lab, citing the Azov battalion has been getting stuff as far back as 2018.
Without objection, so ordered.
Any reason to disagree with that assessment?
I'm sorry, is this the Global Times from China?
No, this is...
That's what you read.
It might be, yeah. Would that be a reason?
As a general matter, I don't take Beijing's property.
No, yeah, just tell me if the allegation is true or false.
I don't have any evidence one way or the other. As a general matter, I don't take Beijing's property.
But there certainly is intent, and it's an intent driven almost exclusively by personal ambition, and that ambition is paralyzing the House now. Madam Clerk, at this time there is great trust in Mr. Jordan, and that's why I am nominating him, and there is insufficient trust in Kevin McCarthy. There are some who have been objecting to Mr. McCarthy who are working on perhaps changes to the rules, changes to circumstance that would convert the Speaker.
Oh no, I gotta leave, I gotta go. I gotta leave, I gotta go. This army life is crazy. This army life is crazy. It's got me missing my baby. It's got me missing my baby.
Yeah. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do?
I hear the choppers hovering. I hear the choppers hovering. They're hovering overhead, hovering overhead. Come to get the wounded. Come to get the wounded. Come to get the dead. Come to get the dead.
I do love Motorhead, but come back here for a second. This pipe bomb is about to go off in the forest. I want you around so you can hear it, okay? I'm just getting warmed up.
What?
What?
House Armed Services Committee, General Mark Milley. We know we're not going to defeat the Taliban militarily, and they're not going to defeat the government of Afghanistan. You really blew that thought, didn't you?
What? Blame me. Fine, I blame you. I'm still here because you can't do your job. When it comes to this yard, you probably haven't learned it yet. There's only one rule: step up or step aside. And over the years, there's been a few to step up, but nobody to ever keep up. And then I finally hear about this one guy. What? 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 What?
Our local leaders tried to get them to run against me. Well, you know, we kind of like that. We like working with them. And then they went to some of our military folks. You aren't you serving, maybe run for Congress? We said, yeah, that's kind of always in our bases. There's always caring for our military families. We don't do our workers now. We had to go all the way to Missouri to find a guy.
What? 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 Fool, there's an old saying, it's better to keep your mouth shut and have people think you're stupid than to open and prove them right. What? 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 You got time for me to tell you a story? I'm going to tell you a story right now. A story about a man.
new Amazon warehouse that they built out here in Cocoa that they have not occupied yet. So they have to patrol this, even though it's not occupied.
Last week in Cocoa.
It happened at the Village Green Apartments on Dixon Boulevard when police say the armed suspect's car was being towed and an officer was standing by. News 6's James Barbero learns much more from the new arrest affidavit.
One week after Cocoa police say Officer Clyde Hilliard radioed shots fired, a wounded tenant of the Village Green Apartments is out of the hospital and now in the custody of the Brevard County Jail.
I just went in and I saw him. He has had surgery.
Without her client in court, defense attorney Kathleen Rallo telling a judge Dexter Bray is still injured after police say the 51-year-old pointed a gun at a tow truck driver and an armed security guard who shot him.
He's not mobile. He has an entire rod down his leg.
A new
Getting inside the classroom, teacher up on the blackboard. Okay, class. What is 2 + 2? Do you know, Booker?
Hours. Hurricane Milton is expected to make landfall on the west coast of Florida, the western coast of Florida. Already we're seeing impacts from the storm, including significant winds and heavy rain. And there's also been frequent and widespread tornado warnings throughout the day. And they're continuing and expected to expand as Milton moves overland, including a few that have already touched down in South Florida. Currently,
2,000 years later.
You on one of the statements that you made in the tail end of the campaign in the midterms. That
Here we go.
If you don't mind, Mr. President, that this caravan was an invasion. As you know, Mr. President,
I consider it to be an invasion.
As you know, Mr. President, the caravan was not an invasion. It's a group of migrants moving up from Central America towards the border with the U.S.
Thank you for telling me that. I appreciate it.
Why did you characterize it as such?
Because I consider it an invasion. You and I have a difference of opinion.
But do you think that you demonized immigrants in
Not
this
at all.
election
No, not
to
at all.
try to
I
keep
want them to come into the country, but they have to come in legally. You know, they have to come in, Jim, through a process. I want it to be a process, and I want people to come in, and we need the people.
Your campaign.
Wait. You know why we need the people, don't you? Because we have hundreds of companies moving in. We need the people.
But your campaign had an ad showing migrants climbing over walls and so on.
That's true. But they weren't actors.
They're not going to be doing that.
They weren't actors. Well, no, it's true. Do you think they were actors? They weren't actors. They didn't come from Hollywood. Right. These were people. This was an actual, it happened a few days.
Let's go. A once-in-a-lifetime experience with what felt like the weight of the world on my chest. The Blue Angels are back in Chicago for the Air and Water Show this weekend, and I got a taste of the journey these Navy pilots go through in combat. First, some training and preparation with the help of Lieutenant Connor O'Donnell.
Well, you want to do an F-18 min-radius turn?
Sure. What is
All right, here we go. Roll inverted.
Turkey 12 Hotel Tamara Golf, contact ground point.
Ever heard of pulling?
All right, let's turn now to ringing in Memorial Day weekend with it.
Those pilots have are truly remarkable. I got to fly with the Blue Angels when I was working as an anchor.
Natalie, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Taxiway Golf, closed between taxiways Bravo and Hotel. All right, Hannah, you ready?
I'm ready. Hundreds of thousands of people will